So we always start by plugging in. When we plug in, we have 2 times infinity minus 5 over 4 times infinity. And if you look at this intuitively, you kind of might be like, okay, this negative 5 is not a matter with the infinity, and so then you have 2 times infinity over 4 times infinity, so the infinities don't matter, and you get 2 over 4. Now, the issue here, though, and like that would be kind of like the intuitive way of going about it. The issue is that this expression is not a basic limit law. It's not 1 over a big number or a constant. And so we can't say 100% like what the limit is because it's not one of our basic limits. So what we do is we divide by the highest power that is in the denominator. So highest power in denominator. So I always think about that when I see this x going to infinity, if I want clarity on what actually is happening, I need to divide by the highest power in the denominator, and the whole idea is that that will convert it to a basic limit law, to basic limit laws, that we can then use those basic limit laws to find the limit. Okay, so let's go about doing that. When you look at the denominator, there's only one term there. The highest power is 4x to the first, so just x to the first is what we would divide by. So this is going to look like the limit as x goes to infinity. The 2x is going to get divided by x. The 5 gets divided by x. The 4x gets divided by x. So that's our first step, is that we divide. Now, if it's not clear at the get-go, what I would do is I would actually make a separate step and say, let me simplify this, and then see what happens after I simplify. So simplifying, I had the limit as x goes to infinity. These x's cancel, so I have 2 minus 5 over x, nothing to simplify there, over the 4x's, the x's cancel, and I have 4. Now, the third step is that I can then use the fact that if I have a number over x to a power p, that is going to go to 0. So basically, if x is in the denominator, it's going to go to 0 if x is going to plus or minus infinity. And in this case, of course, x is going to positive infinity. So I can say that this 2 is going to stay as 2, but because this x is in the denominator, remember, if I were to plug in, I'd have 5 over a really big number, so that's going to go to 0. So the 5 over x is going to go to 0, the 4 is going to stay as 4. So this is looking at the limit as x goes to infinity of 2 over 4. And now at that point, you just have constant 2/4, so you would say that there's nothing to plug in, and your limit is simply equal to 1/2.